There are over 500 professional footballers in the Premier League. Not one of us has come out as gay.
What's the mission of Stonewall? What does it stand for? What's the sort of thing it stands for?
Our first team's mission is to obviously try and compete at the highest level, but also ultimately our club just exists to kind of create inclusive environments for LGBT people and anybody who wants a safe space to play football.
Is there ever a fear from yourselves, obviously going watching a football match, of feeling uncomfortable?
I think for a lot of LGBT people, they sometimes feel that football, whether it's in stadiums or on grassroots pitches, isn't a safe and welcoming space for them because whether it's casual homophobia, there's nothing casual about it. Homophobia is homophobia. But yeah, people do still hear stuff in the stands, you hear some chants, and that absolutely has an impact on LGBT people.
Have you ever experienced anything bad within football? Any negativity, anything on social media? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
You'll always get people who are a very loud minority who don't get it. The majority of people do get it, and the majority of people do want to be allies, but sometimes they just don't know how to. So which is why it's important to kind of provide people with what a visible representation of an ally is. Everyone who plays football knows what a good teammate looks like.
There's a lot about the match day that I think can be quite exclusionary, and some of the chants from the crowd is a big issue, and that may mean that those who haven't had the gateway to getting into the stands for the first time, that could put them off. And representation on the pitch is just as important as representation within the stands as well.
There's some really positive news about Josh Cavallo, who obviously came out very recently and experienced overwhelmingly positive reaction to him sharing his story. Very inspiring. What was the general response in your locker room? Was it something that you guys spoke about?
I'll be honest with you, I think seeing something like that gives us a chance to look at it and really, and really celebrate it. Do you know what I mean? Look at what can happen, look at how people will be if things like that happen, and of course you speak about it. Probably years ago we never used to even have the conversation, and I think now is a lot more open. I think people are a lot more open. I think a lot of football players, and especially a lot of my friends and a lot of football players I play with, are hoping and willing to try and make a change and try and make things better for, I've got children, do you know what I mean? My children coming up and playing football.
So why do you think considering the amount of Premier League players we have, there hasn't been a gay player come out?
Would the football community and people in my position and in our dressing room and friends that I've got within football be open to the idea? Of course we would, because you want people to be happy, you want this great sport of ours to be the most open sport in the world as well, and that's what we need to get to, I think. If we get to the point where somebody does come out at whatever point and come out as gay at whatever point in the Premier League or within football, I think once that happens, it will be a big sigh of relief. It'll be kind of, right, we've got there now, that's where we needed to get to, right, let's push on. Do I think we can do loads more? Of course I do. I think people for years will be trying to do loads more, and I think that's a massive part of how us now, who are playing the game now, can try and educate and develop people who are coming through. What do you make of the Rainbow Laces campaign then?
I think it's crazy that ultimately all it is just a pair of laces, right? Yeah. And I think the key thing is a pair of laces isn't going to change the world, but the conversations that we're able to have today because of the laces, that's so much more impactful.
We wear the armbands, obviously on the game day, the corner flags, all these different bits, just them little things just make us sit here now.
We're incredibly proud to be working with EA Sports this year, who are putting us in an incredible position as part of FIFA 22 to be able to showcase our Unity kit, which has the trans colourways on it. For us, it was a great opportunity to show our solidarity to I guess a community which is one of the most marginalised, even just within the LGBT community.
My 6-year-old plays FIFA 22 all the time, smashes FIFA 22 and batters me on it, so it goes full circle, doesn't it, in terms of what we're trying to do. People love this game, people live by this game, that's what they do, and we have such a platform to make a difference, I really do believe. And as I mentioned, a massive thing for me is to make things better for children growing up, for people growing up, to make this game better for everybody, to make this game more open, so no matter what direction people want to take in their life, to know that they can play football and be free. That's the biggest thing for me.